Students, welcome to the chemistry class number 105. So in the last class we have studied the resistivity, conductivity and specific conductivity. Specific conductivity. Conductivity. Conductance, let us say. Conductance. Conductance. Resistivity, conductance, specific conductivity or conductance. You see, just in the last class, previous class, we have studied. Actually, almost all the substances offers resistance for the flow of charges through them. You see, so therefore, the resistance of the material is directly proportional to the resistance of the material is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to area of cross section. You see. So that is R is equal to K into L by A. Rho into L by A. Where rho is part of the resistance, that is the constant of resistivity or specific resistance. You see, resistivity. Rho is part of the resistivity of the material or specific resistance. Or that is rho is equal to RA divided by L. RA divided by L. RA divided by L. So that is if you take the unit for this, you see, resistance is denoted in ohms. Area of cross section is m squared. Let us say this is length is m. You see, if you remove m and m, you will get ohm meter. You see, ohm meter or ohm centimeter. That is for the specific resistance or resistivity of the material. Specific resistance or resistivity of the material. Rho is equal to is defined in terms of that is ohm meter or ohm centimeter. Ohm meter or what? Ohm centimeter. So that is called the resistivity of the material. Let us say. So then conductance or conductivity of what is meant by conductance of a material. So this conductance or conductivity of a material is denoted by the letter G. You see. So this is rho, and this G conductance is nothing but it is the ability of the material to conduct electricity. What is conductivity or conductance? It is the ability of the material to conduct electricity. To conduct what? Electricity. That is called the conductance. And this conductance G is inversely proportional to the resistance. G is inversely proportional to what? Resistance. So that G is equal to 1 by R. That will be equal to 1 by ohm. You see, 1 by ohm means ohm minus 1. That is mos. It is also written as mos. Or this mos is also written in Simon. Simon. Or mos in the equation. Mos. So that is this is specific resistivity or resistivity of the material, and this is conductivity or conductance. That is G. You see, G. So next after that you see we have defined. So this that is the rho is equal to ohm meter. You see. So now, what is the specific conductivity or specific conductance? Specific conductivity or specific conductance. It is the conductivity produced by produced in between two electrodes. You see. So I am going to take one electrolytic cell. You see. Here two electrodes are there. So connected with the plus and minus. You see. And this is electrolyte solution. You see. It is electrolyte solution. For example. Particular. Specific conductivity is the conductivity produced in between two electrodes separated by a distance of 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square. So separated by a distance, that is length 1 meter, area of cross section 1 meter square. So total is 1 meter cube of the solution. 1 meter cube. Therefore, specific conductivity is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in between two electrodes, separated by a distance of 1 meter or 1 centimeter, and the area of cross section is 1 meter square. Area of cross section 1 meter square or 1 centimeter square. So totally, what is the that is a conductivity produced by this specific conductivity? You see, it is the conductivity produced by 1 meter cube of the solution or 1 centimeter cube of the solution. 1 meter cube or 1 centimeter cube of the solution. And this, what is the unit of the specific conductivity? The specific conductivity is denoted by the letter K. K. So that is A is nothing but it is the reciprocal of reciprocal of specific resistance. Specific resistance. That is K is equal to 1 by rho. So that will be equal to, that is 1 by ohm meter. That will be equal to ohm minus 1, V2 minus 1. Ohm minus 1 is already as sin 1 per meter. Sin 1 per watt meter. That is unit of specific conductivity. Now after that we see, let me take the molar conductivity. That is resistivity, conductance, specific conductance. Now it is molar conductivity. Molar conductivity. What is molar conductivity or molar conductance? Conductivity. Molar conductivity or molar conductance. And it is divided by that is lambda is. So this molar conductivity, and again I am going to take the same that is diagram is. So that is plus and minus. And the electrolyte solution is there, you see. So again, electrolytic cell I am going to take electrolytic solution. Now, so these are the two electrodes separated by distance, everything is there. But now you see, it is the molar conductivity, the conductivity produced by all the ions, not in between the two electrodes. But specific conductivity, the conductivity produced by the ions present in between two electrodes only, not outside the electrodes. But here, molar conductivity, the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution, electrolyte solution, electrolytic cell, you see, all the ions present in the solution. It is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution. But condition is there which contains 1 mole of electrolytes. 1 mole of electrolytes will be there. 1 mole of electrolytes. That means which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. Molar conductivity is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution. But which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. It contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. You see, so that means you see, it is not actually specifically the ions present in between two electrodes. The ions present here, everything is there. You see, in the electrolytic cell, whole cell. So therefore, it is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution, not in between two electrodes. All the ions present in the solution, but it contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. That is called the molar conductivity, and this molar conductivity is denoted as lambda, and it is given there is a relationship between molar conductivity and specific conductivity. You see, relationship between K and lambda elements. What is K? Specific conductivity. What is lambda? Molar conductivity. And these are denoted by the equation lambda that is equal to K into V. Lambda is equal to K into V, where lambda is equal to molar conductivity, K is equal to specific conductivity in Simon per meter, V is equal to volume of the solution in meter cube per mole. You see, this is lambda molar conductivity. Lambda is equal to molar conductivity, and then K is equal to specific conductivity. And V is equal to volume of the solution. Volume of electrolyte solution. You see, volume of the electrolyte solution. This specific conductivity in Simon per meter, of course, it is in. But volume of the solution in meter cube per mole. You see, meter cube per mole. So therefore, what is the unit of lambda? That is molar conductivity is given by that is equation lambda is equal to K into V. So therefore, lambda is equal to unit. You see, unit. So that will be equal to lambda is equal to K into V. You see, that means K is equal to Simon per meter. V is nothing but meter cube per mole. So therefore, meter cube per minus 1 meter cube means meter square. You know that Simon meter square per mole. This is the unit. What is that? Simon. That is minus 1 plus 3 plus 2. Therefore, Simon meter square per mole. That is the unit of your molar conductivity. Okay, that means molar conductivity, it is conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution, which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. What is the relationship between molar conductivity and specific conductivity? Molar and specific conductivities are denoted by or related by the equation lambda is equal to K into V, where lambda is equal to molar conductivity, K is equal to specific conductivity in Simon per meter, and volume V is equal to volume of the electrolyte solution in meter cube per mole. Therefore, what is the unit of lambda m now? Lambda m is equal to K into V. You know that. So K is Simon per meter. That is V is weight cube per mole. Therefore, you will get Simon weight square per mole. If you take Simon per centimeter, it becomes Simon centimeter square per mole. Okay, that is how we can write the unit of lambda m also. Okay. So after that, you see, we have next concept. One more concept we have now. You see, so that is nothing but so generally this conductivity, you see, conductance or conductivity depends upon what are the factors which influence conductivity. You see, factors which influence the conductivity. So generally, the conductivity, the magnitude of conductivity depends upon the nature of the material, temperature, as well as pressure at which the measurements are made. So that means the conductivity of the material depends upon the nature of the material, temperature, and the pressure at which the measurements of conductivities have been made. So on the basis of the conductivity, depending upon the conductivity, we are classifying the materials into different types of materials. That is classification of materials. Then what are the factors which influence the conductivity? That is nature of the, remember, nature of the material, temperature and pressure. Next, classification of materials. On the basis of conductivity. On the basis of conductivity. Depending upon the conductivity of the materials, we are classifying the materials into three or four classes. You see, conductors, semiconductors, and then insulators as well as superconductors. So first one is conductors. Let me take the conductors. You see, you know that conductors, and then semiconductors, and then insulators, and then fourth one is superconductors. So what are the difference between all these materials? You see, that is materials are classified into different types depending upon the extent of conductivity. That is the extent of conductivity present in them. Let us. So therefore, what are conductors? So conductors are that means the substances which gives good conductivity. If the substances exhibits good conductivity, exhibits good conductivity, see, they are good. That is conductors. They are called conductors. For example, metals, and then some of the metals, and then there is alloys. Some of the metals are their alloys, and then non-metals like graphite, and then carbon black, and some organic polymers also come under the conductors family. That is it shows good conductivity. What are good? That is conductors. The conductors are the substances which shows good conductivity. Good conductivity. Examples are, that is metals, and their alloys. Okay, and then non-metals like graphite, and some organic polymers also. So these organic polymers also, some organic polymers also act as your that is conductors. And then carbon black, that is a non-metal. So these are all conductors. So next, coming to the semiconductors. Semiconductors are nothing but these are the substances whose conductivity is in between conductors and insulators. Conductors and what? Insulators. We know that insulators are the bad conductors of electricity. These are the substances which does not exhibit any conductivity. They shows very low conductivity, or they does not exhibit any conductivity. Those are called the insulators. So that is nothing but your plastic, wood. Okay. So these type of substances are called the, so there is insulators. You see, that does not exhibit any conductivity. But semiconductors these substances which exhibits the conductivity is in between conductors as well as insulators. That is germanium, silicon. So these substances that is used in the electronic devices. You see, electronic devices, germanium, silicon. Okay, all these substances you see are called that is semiconductors. So after that, superconductors. The superconductors, these are the substances which does not offer any resistance for the passage of electricity. See, that means these are the substances which offers no resistance for the flow of charges. They offers no resistance for the flow of charges, or they exhibits high conductivity. Or they offers no that is resistance for the flow of current. You see. So those are called that is no resistance, no resistivity, or zero resistivity. Let us say offers zero resistivity or infinite conductivity. Let us say infinite conductivity. So these are the two words you can write for superconductors. The substances which offers zero resistivity or infinite conductivity are called the superconductors. Some of the metals and their alloys at very low temperature of 15 Kelvin act as superconductors. They does not offer any resistance for the passage of at that maintenance of that 15 Kelvin, that is Kelvin, that is maintaining of the temperature of 15 Kelvin is very difficult. Therefore, they are not used in our daily life actually. So for the passage of electricity, you see, they does not offer any resistance, but the maintenance of that temperature is very difficult. You see, that is normal temperature. It is about 25 degrees Celsius. You see, 298 Kelvin. So it is only 15 Kelvin. So that is how. So it is not possible to use superconductors that is in our daily life. Okay. So next, after this you see, so that is classification of materials on the basis of conductivity possessed by them. So there is conductors, semiconductors, insulators, there is superconductors. After that you see, what is meant by electrical conductors or electronic conductors. So the conductors, we have classified this conductivity into two types. So that is electrical conductivity and electrolytic conductivity. Electrical and electrolytic. So now let me take one by one. So first one is, what is meant by electrolytic conductivity? Electrolytic. I'm going to take first one is electrical conductivity. So this electrical conductivity is often called as electronic conductivity. Electrical conductivity or electronic conductivity. Electrical conductivity or electronic conductivity. So electrical conductivity or electronic conductivity itself shows that you see, it is the conductivity produced due to the movement of electrons in the metallic conductors. What is meant by that is electrical conductivity or electronic conductivity? It is the conductivity produced by the movement of electrons. Movement of electrons in the metallic conductor. So what is electrical conductivity or electronic conductivity? It is the conductivity due to the movement of electrons in the metallic conductor. So movement of electrons leads to conductivity, that is electrical conductivity. Okay, that is also for the electronic. Why? Because electrons will move in the that is conductor. So therefore it is for the movement of called as the electrical conductivity is often called as the electronic conductivity. So then on which factors this electronic conductivity or electrical conductivity depends, electrical or electronic conductivity depends. So generally we know that you see, so this electronic conductivity or electrical conductivity depends upon the nature of the metal and structure of the metal. So that is factors. So that is nature of the metal, as well as and structure of the metal, nature of the metal and structure of the metal. So next, that is the first factor. Second factor, number of valence electrons. Number of valence electrons per atom. So how many valence electrons are present per atom? For example, aluminium 3 electrons per atom. For example, your that is calcium 2 electrons per atom. Like that we see sodium 1 electron per atom. So that is the number of valence electrons per atom. So that also the factor which influences the movement of electrons in the metallic conductor, which is called the electronic conductor. And third one is temperature. Number 3 is temperature. So generally this temperature will play an important role. Generally increasing temperature decreases the electrical conductivity. Remember, temperature factor, increasing the temperature decreases the electrical conductivity. Why? Actually, we know that you see, so generally as the temperature increases, we know that when the metal is heated, the electrons will escape out, you see. That is photoelectric effect, we know that. As the temperature increases, electrons will escape out without asking anybody. So which is called the photoelectric effect. So therefore you see, as the temperature increases, then the electrons will escape out. There is no electrons to move in the metal itself, you see. So for this reason, as the temperature increases, the electrical conductivity decreases. Okay, that is the idea we have. So and then after that you see, we know, so this is the electrical conductivity and electronic conductivity. Electrical conductivity and electronic conductivity. So one more thing you see, that means electrons, if the electrons will move from one end to another end, you see. If the electron moves from one end to another end in the metallic conductor, for example, you see, if the electron enters at one end and escapes at the other end, the composition of the metal does not, changes, you see, does not changes. That means if the electron enters at one end and enters at one end of the metal, and so that means escapes at the another end, the composition of the metallic conductor does not changes. It remains as it is, remains unchanged. But the mechanism of the semiconductors will be changed. Mechanism of the semiconductor will be that will be changed. Okay. So then after that we see, so we know that one more thing, the water contains, you see, with the water, if you know the water, pure water, you see, if you know the pure water, H2O contains H plus and OH minus ions. H plus and what? OH minus ions. Pure water contains what? H plus and OH minus ions. What is the conductivity of H plus ions and the conductivity of OH minus ions? You know in the first year itself, you see. So that is H plus and OH minus ion concentration both will be is equal to 10 power minus 7 mole per dm. What is the conductivity of each ion of H plus and OH minus 10 power minus 7? That is molar. So therefore, the water, for this reason, water exhibits a very low conductivity of that is 3.5 into 10 power minus 5 Simon per meter. What is the conductivity produced by pure water? 3.5 to 10 power minus 5 Simon per meter. That is the conductivity produced by pure water, because it contains H plus and OH minus ions. Each ion will having that is a molar concentration of 10 power minus 7. Okay. So after this you see, let us take by using these things, let us take one more conductivity which is called the ionic conductivity or electrolytic. Electrolytic. Now, electrolytic conductivity or ionic conductivity. So second one is second type of conductivity now. Not electrical, it is electrolytic. Electrolytic conductivity, ionic conductivity. Ionic or electrolytic. So what is the difference between electrical and electrolytic? Electrical means the charges, movement of electrons in the conductor. Electrolytic means movement of ions in the electrolyte solution. Remember, movement of ions, that is movement of ions in the electrolytic solution. So this is definition of our electrolytic conductors. It is the conductivity produced due to the, what is electrolytic conductivity or ionic conductivity? It is the conductivity produced due to the movement of ions in the electrolyte solution. Hence, movement of ions takes place in the electrolytic solution. It is called the ionic conductivity. The conductivity produced due to the movement of ions is also called the ionic conductivity. Then, what are the factors? Which influence this? That is ionic conductivity or that is your electrolytic conductivity. Factors which influence the concept. Factors which influence ionic conductivity. So what are those? Ionic conductivity. So if you take the factors to see, so first one is nature of the electrolyte. Nature of the electrolyte. What is the electrolyte you are going to add? Okay. Next, second one, nature of solvent. Where that means you see which type of solvent you are going to that is dissolve this solute. That is called electrolyte. Nature of the solvent and its viscosity. So this is one point. So third one you see size of ions produced. And solvation. How the ions will be solvated? Whether they are solvated easily, completely wetted or incompletely wetted. So that is how. So first one is nature of the electrolyte added. And second one is nature of the solvent in which the solute is dissolved, and its viscosity, whether it is move slowly or that is fast manner. See, that is called the viscosity. And then size of the ions produced in the solution. So big size ions are produced or small size ions are produced, and their solvation, whether they solvated completely or solvated that is incompletely solvated, completely wetted or incompletely wetted. So that is the meaning of this. So next number 4 you see, that is the concentration of the electrolyte. How much of concentration of the electrolyte you are going to dissolve in the solution? Concentration of the electrolyte you are going to. And fifth one is temperature. So this if you take the temperature factor, so as the temperature increases, undissolved salt will be dissolved. Remember, so in the electrolyte solution, as the temperature increases, undissolved salt or solute dissolved. Therefore, more number of ions will be produced. Movement of ions leads to high conductivity. So that means you see, ionic conductivity increases with temperature. So ionic conductivity increases with what? Temperature. As the temperature increases, ionic conductivity increases because when the temperature increases, undissolved salt dissolves. Undissolved salt will what? Dissolves, giving more number of ions. Giving what? More ions. Undissolved salt dissolves and giving more number of ions. Therefore, movement of ions leads to ionic conductivity. So therefore, ionic conductivity increases with in what? Temperature. Okay, that is how we can have this concept, that is electronegative conductivity, ionic conductivity. That means you see ionic conductivity or electronegative conductivity increases with increasing temperature. But if you take your electronic conductivity, so electronic conductivity decreases with increasing temperature, because you see as the temperature increases, the electrons present in the metal will escape out. So therefore number of electrons per atom will be decreases. So that is movement of electrons. The number of electrons in the metallic conductivity will be decreases due to the escape of electrons due to high heating. You see. So that is how we can that is explain the electrolytic conductivity, ionic conductivity, or your one more is your that is electrical conductivity. So that is electrical conductivity. You see, the first one is electrical conductivity. That is also called the electronic conductivity. Electrical or electronic. This one is electrolytic or what? Ionic. So electronic means movement of electrons. Electrolytic means movement of ions in the electrolytic solution. Electrolytic solution. Okay. That is how we can explain the conductivity phenomenon. You see, that is resistivity of the material, and then conductance, and then specific conductance, molar conductance, and then classification of materials on the basis of conductivity, that is conductors, semiconductors, insulators, and superconductors, and then different, that is two types of conductivity, that is electrical conductivity or ionic conductivity, electrolytic conductivity or ionic conductivity. Second one is electrical or electronic. Electrical and electronic. So okay, so that is how we can have the concept with respect to conductivity phenomena. What we will continue in the next video.